Aloha and welcome. I'm Sean Lether, your host for Hawaiian IANDS. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It is my great honor to welcome our very special guest today, Kimberly Meredith. Kimberly is a world-renowned medical intuitive, psychic medium, hands-on healer, and best-selling author of Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. After experiencing two profound near-death experiences, Kimberly was gifted with extraordinary healing abilities and a deep connection to divine guidance. Through her miraculous work, she channels messages from the Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, angels, and ascended masters, helping thousands experience profound physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. You can learn more about Kimberly at her website, thehealingtrilogy.com. Please join with me in giving a warm welcome to Kimberly Meredith. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, Sean. Thank you for
I-
having me here. I'm really, really grateful for being here today with everybody. Thank you.
I'm so grateful and excited. So why don't you uh, just start and tell us a little bit about your near-death experiences and how all this happens.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. So yeah, they all started, the two that started was back in 2012, towards the end of 2012, which was right before Christmas. I was starting an endeavor in my life that was really a lot going on in my life. But before I get into that, I want to just say that when I came into the world from the earliest age of 6 months old, I already was experiencing a form of connecting to the other side. So I was blinking, my eyes were blinking and communicating with the afterlife. And I had experienced a lot of information with these my eye blinking and getting little messages as a child, and parental figures didn't really understand what that was, so I always pushed it down as a child, and um, to make the parental figures feel better about it. So as my life went on up until 2012, heading into 13, I led a life that was working in the medical field and helping people and trying to live a normal life. But I always had really strong intuitive hits. Um, and, but I have to say, when I was little, up to the age of 7 years old, my hands would heat up. I was doing healings on animals, and I was communicating with the other side when I was little. And my grandfather would carry around a camera and he would follow me, watching my eyes blink and communicate with the other side. In 2012, I was burning the candle at both ends, as you would say. And I was working at a hospital in Los Angeles, back to back, 14-hour shifts. And I also was taking care of my grandmother, who was around 94 years old in a nursing home. And I was what you call also a medical technical advisor, working on television shows, making it look as real as possible. Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, all those type of shows that do hospital, um, uh, ER. And I really got into it. I really enjoyed that type of work, but I couldn't let go of working at the hospital. And I was doing way too much. And I remember getting a call about 3 months before my near-death experiences that I had gotten a very, very big show. And this show was like unbelievable, where I was going to be not only doing the medical technical advising, but also one of the main writers on it. And I was like, wow, this is it. This is the show. And I remember feeling like it was time to let go of working at the hospital because it was a lot. And I don't know, a lot of you get that, like an intuitive hit, like you're just doing way, way, way too much, right? And my grandmother was not doing that well. And one of the main actresses was Laurie Metcalf. I don't know if you know Laurie Metcalf, and Niecy Nash. And they were going to the nursing home where my grandmother was because the show was about nursing homes, and it was called Getting On. And they were going over there and actually looking at how to really uh, do scenes from a nursing home. So I was getting ready one morning. They were picking me up to go to the set. And I was rushing. Everything was a rush, 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 right? And I got hit on foot. And it was like, I get goosebumps right now, even talking about it, because it was like everything I had ever wanted just went from here all the way over there. So it was like, I was just taken from this over here, and somebody just like, God just like picked me up and said, you're not going to have this life anymore. We're moving you over here. And I literally went from this life in a matter of like, just like that, over here. And next thing I know, I am just like being, rushed into, I don't even know, it was so fast, rushed through like this room where I'm hearing, like loud noises, and hearing my partner at the time is holding my hand. I hear her kidney, losing a kidney. I heard a woman yelling out, um, injecting things into my arms. I'm hearing rushing me down into this area and that area. And then I was rushed into a room. I'm thrown into this other room, clothes being taken off of me, um, IVs putting in me. I would just remember just a lot of things just going on super fast to my body, chills throughout my body. I remember looking over at the IV and it just going down. And next thing, I'm like feeling an immense amount of chills going through my body. And I remember that it felt like almost like I was in a shower. And the shower was like an ice shower, and a huge, for me, it was like this huge ball of light. And the light was so strong, it just went into my eyes and down into my chest. And the ball of light that hit into my chest was almost like, I don't know if any of you have had like major hot flashes, women here that have had the hot flashes, men too. It was like a chili, like a hot chili that you eat of hot, like a chili, like if you eat like I don't know, like some kind of a chili, but it was like a hot flash into my chest and into my eyes at the same time. And I remember I said to myself as I was into this energy of the Holy Spirit looking right at me, going, please get off of me so I can breathe. And I remember the face looking at me, and I know it was Jesus and the Holy Spirit staring at me, but it also looked like my own father. My father had passed away when I was younger, and also my stepmother. And I remember I felt like my dad and Jesus at the same time. And at the same time, the feeling going through my body And I just kept saying, please get off of me so I could breathe. Please get off of me. And it just kept amazing amount of chills just going through my body and seeing just so much purple all over. And it just happened it was going so fast. And it was so relaxing, but the pressure was so hard. And my eyes was so blinded by this beautiful light going through my eyes. And I also saw a woman there, and the woman had dark, dark skin, and her face I had never seen before. And she kept looking at me and smiling. And then it was just like this hard thump, very hard thump down. And when I woke up. And when I woke up, I looked at the first person, who was my partner, who I'd lived with for a long time. And I remember trying to say to him, I just saw God. I just saw the Holy Spirit. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak. And I remember I looked down at my body, and there was blood everywhere, all over me. And then also, I knew at that point I wasn't me anymore. I knew that I wasn't the same person. For some reason, I just had this higher consciousness that it just wasn't me. And I stayed in the hospital for 3 months. I didn't get released. I remember that night I had several seizures, and they took me down the hall again and did more procedures on me. I remember them turning me over on my stomach and going into the back of my head and draining fluid out of the back of my skull because I had a hematoma. That they couldn't contain. I did not end up really taking steps to walk at that hospital for quite a few months, and I did not end up speaking the way I spoke when I went in to the hospital. My partner kept asking me to speak the way I spoke when I went in. And I kept saying, finally, when I left, I kept saying hospital differently than when I went in. I wasn't saying it the way I did. Did not know what near death experiences were, but the doctor said I had lost. My NDE was over 4 minutes, that I had lost my heartbeat, consciousness. I had gone, was completely gone. My aunt came to visit me, and my uncle, priest, rabbis. I left without, I wasn't really walking when I left. I was still in a wheelchair. And I still was eating out of a straw. I had a collar on. I had multiple wounds to the jaw, upper cervical spine. So still talking very small amounts, but different, not who I was when I went in. So when we were released, I was wheelchair bound, soft foods, straw. They wanted to do surgery. Things were not looking great for me. They told me that I would never be able to work again. And just was not looking good at all for me to go back to what I was doing ever again. So I came home with my partner, and I knew on the way home from the car, my life was never going to be the same. I'll never forget when I got to the house. We have a long staircase, and he said to me, "God, I'm so appreciative of him." He said, "We better get a refrigerator and call for nursing care um, to help, you." I said, "Okay." And we moved the refrigerator upstairs, and we made some food for me, and we got it up there, and we got a nurse to start coming out to the house to help me. And then my aunt had called, and we had a family meeting about my American Bulldog, my 80-pound American Bulldog. And they wanted to get him a new home because I was about 98 pounds at the time. When I had the accident, I was 135 pounds. And when I came home from the hospital, I had lost a lot of weight. And he worked a full-time job, so there was no way that I was going to be able to walk my dog at that weight. And I was still very injured. I was in a wheelchair and not able to walk. So we started having this nurse come over and help and physical therapy. This was my new life. I had to understand that my old life was over and this was my new life. So I was a bad girl. Some days I would be good, and some days I was awful, meaning I would scooch my bottom down the stairs and come downstairs and be with Rocky, my 80-pound American Bulldog that I loved. And I wasn't supposed to because he's 80 pounds and that he was an American Bulldog and he was pit also. So one day, um, 2 months after I was home, getting a little bit stronger and a little bit sassier, the nursing care lady was late because she was helping taking Rocky out to the bathroom. I felt I was strong enough to take him just out the front. So I scooched down the stairs and I said to myself, I'm strong enough to take Rocky out the front. And I put his collar on and I went out the front door. I didn't go all the way out the front. I just went out the front steps, not too far. And a gardener came walking out with a blower. And Rocky lunged at the gardener. And the gardener thought he was going to hurt him. And he took the blower and he lunged at Rocky with the blower right into Rocky's face. And Rocky lunged at the gardener. And I was holding on to Rocky's leash. And the gardener took the blower and he shoved the blower into Rocky's face. And when he did that, Rocky just went right after the gardener. And when Rocky went after the gardener, he threw me into the street. And when he threw me into the street, it cracked my head open right where they did all the stitches into the back of my head. And it blew open the back of my head right where I had the stint and everything that did at the hospital just a few months before. And it cracked open my whole entire head. And that did it. That was it. What happened. And that was my fault. And after that, Rocky, they say, I don't know, I went out and a lady was down the street and she said that Rocky, he didn't run after the guy. He ran over to me and he laid his body across my body and laid on top of it. And there were cars coming right towards my body. And if he hadn't been across my body, I would have probably been dead. They would have ran me over. But I say that was my real wide open hit, because when that happened to me, I saw so many angels above me and below me. And then I went to the hospital again and they had to do another surgery on me. And Rocky, he passed away. But Rocky gave me the courage to survive. Rocky's the real hero because he saved my life. And I was fully awakened after that. Shortly after that, when I came back, my eyes fully began to start communicating with the afterlife. They started blinking like they did when I was a child. After I came home from that, I was sitting on the couch about 4 weeks later, and my right and left eye started communicating with the afterlife, and they started blinking. And when they started blinking, I could hear messages in my left ear that you're here to stay and you're here to do work. And I couldn't believe it when they started blinking like they did when I was a child. I could not believe it. I was like, what? And they're going, dun, 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 dun. And they were blinking. And I thought it was imagining it at first. And then they were coming in so fast. And I would write down, are you saying yes? And they'd go, 2. Are you saying no? And it was 1. And it would come in faster and faster. And as they were blinking and going in and out and telling me messages, it was coming in so fast. And then they were speaking, and I was hearing the message from the left. Like when I was a child, the messages always come from the left ear. And it just would speed up. And then about, I think a month or 2 after that, my agent that I had been with for years came for a little visit at the house. And he said, what are you going to do with yourself? And I said, well, I'm disabled and I'm trying to heal myself. And he said, how? And I said, well, my partner left. He didn't want to be here anymore because he doesn't understand what's going on with me. So I'm just rubbing my hands together and doing healings on my neck. And I feel like I'm getting better. And this is how it started with my eyes and my neck. And he said, And the healing I was hearing, you can heal yourself with my eyes and my hands. And I said to my friend, my older agent, I said, I feel like I'm getting a little better by doing the healing with my hands. I don't want to take medicine anymore, anything. I threw it in the toilet. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm hearing messages that I can heal myself. And he said, well, my ankle is hurting and they want to do surgery on me. And he said, maybe you should do a little healing on my ankle. And I said, well, I don't know if I can do it for you. I said, I'm just doing it for myself right now. I just started hearing messages from my eyes and my neck, and I'm doing it for myself. And he said, well, what do you think about my ankle? So I looked at his ankle and I said, well, I feel like I should say the Hail Mary. So I went across his ankle. It was his Achilles heel. And I just said a really light prayer. And across his Achilles heel. And I had been going to the pain clinic and I'd been going to like the doctors and doing healing on my neck with my own hands. But never on anybody else. And I know my friend was saying, let me teach you Reiki. And I didn't really know what Reiki was even. And I said, but I know my hands are getting hot. So I tried it on him and he left. And at this point, I really didn't have much to do with my life because there wasn't anything left. It was just me alone trying to heal myself. I didn't have anything, just this. So he calls me up. He works at an agency. He used to do things with me when I used to work in the shows and stuff. And he's an ex-football player. And he says, they canceled my surgery. I said, why? He said, I went to the doctors, big hospital in LA. They did an x-ray and it's healed. I said, what's healed? He said, what you did on my ankle. He said, my ankle's completely healed when you did the healing on it. I also had a little laser machine on the table. It was a cold laser machine my uncle had sent to me, and I'd been playing with that a little bit, but I didn't do very much. I just put like a drop on it. He said, that day when you said the Hail Mary and you prayed to the Holy Spirit and never came back out, and you put the little laser on it, he said, it's completely healed. And they did an x-ray on it too and never came out. He says, it's completely healed. He says, what are you doing for you? I said, well, I'm doing the same thing. I'm praying and I'm praying on my neck. He says, well, you need to get x-rays too. He goes, you don't have anything going on, right? I said, no. Let me start sending people to you from Gold's Gym. I know some guys down there. They're not doing that good. They've got rotator cuff tears, things like that. Let me send them to you. I said, all right. So next thing you know, he's sending these people over to my home. I got a little Reiki bed. I put it in the living room. That turned into like 100 people. What the guides were doing, Spirit, was teaching me to become a medical intuitive. I started scanning them. They were beautiful people. I was humble and grateful to have some friends, some company. Some of them would donate $10, whatever it would be. But what happened, it was about healing, but it was about me becoming a medical intuitive, which I didn't even know the word. I was starting to scan people and I'd say, did you ever have a hernia here? I'd hear hernia. Did you ever have cancer? They say, yes. I'd say, there's a lump here. They say, really? I say, you need to get this looked at. Okay. I was starting to get information from the guides. This became my school right in my apartment. More and more people were coming. And then I started doing healing. I would say, can I heal you? They'd say, sure. I start saying, I am love, I am light, or Hail Marys, or I'd say Braka Ata Adonai, Eloheinu Melech Haolam, whatever it was, and it would start dissolving right there. I'd say you're in the fifth dimension. I'm in the fifth dimension. And it would dissolve. I didn't know what was happening. I would do what they would tell me to do because I died. I came back to do what they wanted me to do, not what I want, but they want me to do. They were using me to do what they want me to do. And I only do what they want me to do. And then I got a call. A lady from Virginia. She says, do you want to come up to Karma Fest? I said, to do what? She says, to do an event where you are doing readings. I said, why? She says, you're a medical intuitive. I heard you did a healing on my friend and you found everything in her body and you healed her, dissolved a tumor in her breast. I said, I'm a medical intuitive? Yes. You're like Edgar Casey. I said, who's Edgar Casey? And that's when it all started to happen. And I said, I don't have enough money to come to see you. I said, I don't have enough money to really pay my rent. And she said, well, I'm going to pay your rent. And I'm also going to pay for someone to come with you and for you to stay out here because we need someone to help heal people out here. And then I said to her, I'll never forget it. I said, but I like to pray and say that you're in the fifth dimension. And she said, we love that. So I ended up going there with my friend and we stayed there for a week. And when I came home in 2017, around that time, I remember I came back to my place. I walked in and I got another call. And the man called me and he said, I need a medical intuitive to come to an expo because there's a woman that has a breast tumor and she needs healing. I said, okay. And he says, and then after that, there's another man that wants to meet you and test you. And I said, really? And then it just didn't stop. I never looked back, but I always ask the guides if they want me to do something. Because if I don't ask, that's when I get in trouble. So when I crossed over and came back, remember when I first went over and came back and I heard when they came through my eyes, the bright light, I to this day know that when I came in the world, I had the gift and I pushed it away because I was told it was bad. And then when I crossed and came back, when I felt uncomfortable, when they pushed down on my chest, it was the Holy Spirit. And then when I said, please get off me, that was God saying, we want you to come back, but they want me to do what they want to do, not what I want to do. Thank you for listening to my story. And I do believe that we're all here with gifts. I do believe that we all have abilities. And I do believe we don't have to have an NDE, but I do believe that I had to have it to accept my gifts. And I do believe that I have to be always listening to them. So if you have any questions for me, I'm grateful to answer them. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Kimberly, so amazing. I got tears a couple of times. I know other people did too. If you guys want to put your questions in the chat, and then I will ask Kimberly, and So we'll go ahead and we will start off with 6 months old, because what's really interesting is that's when it started for me too. I had a NDE then. Of course, I didn't know about that, but I had that connection, like you were saying. But what's different, I stopped trusting myself. It seems like you toned it down for your parents, but you kept trusting yourself, right? Or did you ever have a period where you stopped trusting the messages?
I think that because I chose to go into like the healthcare and all of that, I think I would go like I think I would often say to myself, wow, that just happened. Like I would doubt that just happened, kind of like second, like, wow, that just happened kind of thing, like second guess it.
Right. Yeah, that's the hardest lesson for many of us, is to that trusting that this is real, you
Yeah.
know?
Where now, like, it's like, oh, yeah, like now with my work, it's like, oh, that's it, you know? Yeah, it's a definite.
Right. And what's funny is, for a lot of us, we just have to go through pain and suffering because we didn't listen in order to learn to listen. Yeah.
Right.
So so after your NDE and you realized your old life was gone, what
Yeah.
was that like? And were you able to completely surrender? And did you ever go through this period of like mourning that old life?
You know, they 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 took me out of it so abruptly. It was like a faucet just kind of went bam. And the partner I had said, you won't be able to survive without him, and you won't be able to survive this. But clearly, they had such a big mission for me. They made it happen. And they just, it was so profound how it happened and so fast. It was 2 years of recovery in the wheelchair and all of that, but in that 2-year period, they put me through, like, that training camp, and then I was discovered right here in my living room.
So the spirit filled you up right away. You didn't go through this period that, like a lot of us, and like Ram Dass, he calls, he describes, the dark night of the soul is, you spend your whole life trying to become somebody, and then with awakening, you realize that none of that means anything, and so you have this hole with the material world that was keeping it full, but the spirit hasn't come in right away for many people. But you didn't have that. Spirit came right in.
I had I had a difficult life with my like, growing up with family, that was not easy, my whole life as a child with family, and I lost my mom and my dad and my brother at a young age, and I had a hard time growing up. So I went through a lot of pain with that. And I've always been a humble person. I've always been a compassionate person, a loving person. I chose a career of service through my whole life. I was as young as like 14, I wanted to work in the hospitals. I always worked on the hardest hospitals. I always wanted to give my last dollar to someone to help somebody. But when they took me to the one part of my life where I really loved doing what I was doing, to, like, all of a sudden, like you're saying, the awakening part, yeah, that was like a huge, like, all of a sudden, you're awakened like that. Yeah. But I do feel when I came in as a very young little baby, I already was awakened, but was told not to be awakened when I was a baby, because I had, at a young age, was reprimanded very harshly to not say I was reincarnated when I did. I was about maybe 5 when I told an individual that I had been reincarnated, and they told me, "Don't say that word." And I was also told that my hands, I remember crying, "Were not my hands. These are not my hands. Take them away. These are not my hands. These are someone else's hands." I didn't feel comfortable with my hands. That was like a body part of mine that I didn't want, but these were not my hands.
So, in your experience, do you think all that trauma might have helped you or prepared you somehow?
It absolutely is preparing me for these years and the next few years. It's made me very, yes, absolutely. They're saying yes. They're blinking. They answer the questions a lot for me. Yes, I do feel it has prepared me and prepares me to help my clients and the people, because I think everything we go through prepares us for the strength that we need to endure. Because the world is not a pretty world, and the world, we need to be able to understand whatever we go through in this lifetime. Um, it, it gives us, I know it gives me a sense of humor, and it gives me a sense of being able to love people for who they are and find the beauty in everything, beauty in the sadness, and the beauty in it, in what we have to go through.
Yeah, yes, Yeshua. There's a book called The Way of Mastery where he was channeled by JM, if you know who he is, and he calls that true empathy. The only way we can know it and empathize is if we've been through it. And Kenneth Ring, who was a researcher for IANDS, he did a book and he calls them experience prone individuals. And those are usually people that have been through all kinds of trauma and PTSD, and that it somehow cracks us open to be more open. So yeah, I was am curious about that because I still haven't met anybody that had an awakening, you know, in Malibu on the Lanai having Mai Tais, right? Like there's always some trauma.
Yeah,
So
I always tend to, you know, I always I love the underdogs. I love the people that have gone through things. I feel like they are they're our champions. They're so much more interesting. And I mean, there are heroes, there are heroes. There are amazing people out there.
yeah, after my ND, I understood what that saying, the meek shall inherit the earth meant.
Yeah.
Like the downtrodden, like I mean, those are the real heroes that keep fighting and keep going. Okay, let's see. Oh, so a lot of people, many people have different interpretations of the dimensions. But
Yes.
could you explain the third dimension and then the fourth dimension and then the fifth dimension in the way that you understand it?
Sure. The way the guides interpret it for me, because there's all kinds of scientific interpretations and things like that. But the third dimension for me is a very, gosh, just a very jealous, fearful, um, greedy, the dimension that we're trying to get out of right now. The dimension right now that's just very judgmental, it's a very the it's toxic also right now, like even our food, it's not very clean. A lot of things are shifting though right now, like our grocery stores are starting to get rid of fluoride. So the dimension we're trying to clean up right now, which is right now our whole, I don't want to get into politics, but a lot of things that need to get clear, like water, we don't want pol- pollution, the fourth dimension is a lot about understanding that it's nature. The fourth dimension is very nature, and it's a bridge to a fifth dimensional type of living. But the fourth dimension is important to understand. We do need it. It's a healing dimension. To me, it's like bridging you into the fifth dimension. We do need the fourth dimension because it's a way of learning to meditate. It's learning to be more free. The fourth dimension is calming, it's loving. The fifth dimension is a bit more magical. The fifth dimension is like really boosting yourself up a bit more. learning that everything has to be, when you get in that fifth dimensional vibration, you really do experience the magic. It's when you can actually learn to heal yourself on your own, that everything in your house is fifth dimensional. You are in that magical zone where the world is finally in the peace. People go, oh, well, there's the 12th dimension too. Yes, there's all the way up to 12th dimensional frequencies. But when you're in the fifth dimension, you could just look at somebody and send them energy healing, and they can be healed. And in the fifth dimension, like, so you're drinking water out of glass, it's mineral water, it's spring water. When you're in the third dimension, you're drinking water that's in plastic. But say you're a fifth dimensional person, you're more of a fifth dimensional consciousness, and then you're drinking tap water. So then how can you be a fifth dimensional conscious person? So that's what gets mixed up right now in our world. We're kind of going like this, back and forth. So if you are actually wanting to move yourself more into, because our world right now is trying to move more into the fifth dimension, but we're struggling because that's what I talk a lot about in my book, because our world is still caught in a third dimensional consciousness. So if I explain the fifth dimension, because people are moving in the fifth dimension and experiencing fifth dimensional healings, but they still are struggling with living in a third dimensional state of frequency because our world is still caught in 3D, which is materialistic and not fifth dimension all the way yet. So I teach classes on it. I have a book out on it, and it is a bestseller. So I could give you lots of different examples about living all the way in the fifth dimension, 100%, and how you can heal yourself in the fifth dimension. There are documented studies in my book, and every day people are healed in the fifth dimension, and they stay in the fifth dimension. Like me, I'm completely healed. A lot of my organs are completely healed, and I stayed in the fifth dimension. I'm healed. Now, can I slip back down? Absolutely. I can slip back down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because it does seems like I can be fifth dimensional a lot, and all of a sudden I catch myself, especially if I do a judgment, and
Yeah.
I'm right back down.
Yeah. But the cool thing is our world is moving into the fifth dimension. We were born, when we came into the world, we were already in the fifth dimension, but man dropped us down into a third dimensional consciousness because of ego.
Right.
We went back down.
That is very cool, and I have to applaud you being in the middle of, epicenter Los Angeles, a third dimensional world that you can stay in fifth dimensional. That, because that's tough.
It's not that hard. Actually, just by saying I'm in the fifth dimension raises you into the fifth dimension. Just by saying I am love, I am the light, I am love. Just by doing 5 minutes a day of meditation can raise your vibration.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, but yeah, being in Los Angeles doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't do too. I don't think I was in the fifth dimension much when I lived there. That's why I had to come to Hawaii. So,
Yeah,
um,
I agree with you.
yeah. Um, you know, so the other thing that I really love about so when you woke up and were redirected to the life of service that you came here to do, and that spirit and the universe has supported you. You weren't out there trying to get money. You were just
No.
following your guides and being of service, and everything else came in place, right?
In fact, I didn't even write the book. The book was channeled, and I didn't even know anything about 3D or 5D or 4D or anything like that. In fact, I was so happy with the life I was doing, and I was just got that amazing situation. I never ever knew about any of this. The only thing I really knew was when I was a baby that I was blinking and I had the hands. I always knew, even when I was in nursing, when I would lay hands on people, and I talk about that in the beginning of the book, that when I would do the healing on my grandma or animals, there was healing that did take place. And Sean, I did have some encounters when I was in nursing that people would wake up when they were in a coma. And I did some things that were very definitive that were happening with the healing with my hands. Like now, I do dissolve tumors off of people, and I do find breast lumps, and they do dissolve. One of my very big things that I do is I do dissolve lumps and tumors with my hands. And I was doing that when I was little.
So when you were doing the film stuff and the acting stuff and all that, was there a part of you that felt like maybe you weren't living your purpose? I mean, was there any part of you that felt like there's something else?
I always felt like, I think throughout the life that I was doing before, I kind of always felt like, I don't know if any of you ever feel this, like I always felt like I was kind of like out of body and not, now I feel like it's so bizarre. Like after I had what happened and now I'm here, I feel more comfortable now who I am. I feel like it's kind of like I feel like I came out of who I, like now I know who I am. Like I'm out now. Like
Right.
I kind of felt like uncomfortable always. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I was living a life of feeling awkward. Like I would be at the set, I'd be doing what I was doing and everything, but I always felt anxiety. My whole life I felt like a little anxiety. Like I'd always say, "Oh, I have an anxiety attack."
Right.
Remember I was on a set or doing something, and now I have no anxiety. It's so weird. Like now that I'm a psychic medium and I do what I do and I go and I do my sessions and I'm doing this, I don't have any anxiety.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friends, because
I
you came out now, you know who you are.
right. Yeah.
Big
There's an
mistake.
alignment. Because when I lived in LA, I was on all kinds of lorazepam and, you know, and had the worst anxiety attacks. And I couldn't believe after my NDE and I started listening, all the anxiety went away. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay, let's see.
So I don't
Oh, the other thing that is I really love that I want you to talk a little more is about asking, and that we are always supposed to ask because sometimes we interfere out of arrogance, right? Some of us have this need, like me, I have this need to help, and it was like a knee-jerk reaction, and it took me a while to realize, wait, maybe I'm not even supposed to help. Maybe they So when did you learn that like to always ask?
oh, ask the guides
Yeah.
to help.
Well, if you should help, if you know, I mean, you sometimes get the messages that maybe you shouldn't interfere, right? Or no?
Oh, you mean to help people or to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh, I think, um, it was, I guess it just all kind of aligned when I first had, so the ball of light, this huge ball of light that came at me when I had the near death experience in the hospital, right? The one where I got thrown in the street, that was just, like that. Okay. And I got completely knocked. But the one at the hospital, that ball of light, okay, that came after I came home from the hospital the second time, I was sitting on the couch. I'm getting chills when I talk about it. The ball of light again came at me and it ordered me again. And I was sitting on the couch, and this time I was even thinner. I was really bad. I was so skinny. And it came at me again. And it was like thumped at me. And it was again ordering me to, it said, "You're to heal people." I heard it very loud in my left ear. The way also when I get messages about people and things that they need and you're to, they're ordering me to heal people and to do the work. And when you hear a voice like that and it's pretty alarming and loud, you do what they say.
Yeah, it gets loud, right? Yeah, if you don't listen, it gets louder and louder.
And then they also were ordering me to eat because I was not eating. I was having a hard time with food. Yeah, I was getting really, really thin.
Yeah. So you know how Edgar Casey, his guides had told him to only do a certain amount of readings, and he was doing way more. He wasn't listening, so he passed early, right? At 66.
Yeah.
Do your guides tell you that? Do they limit you? Like, or how do they?
Um, yeah. In 2000, it was 16, 17, 18. In 2019, when I became more known, I was getting more and more known. It was becoming crazy. I was doing like 10 hours a day of sessions. And I had some producer say to me about Edgar Casey, and he says, Kimberly, you're doing too many people. This is like getting crazy. You should really cut back. And then when that happened, I started cutting back. Yeah. It plus also mine is blinking and hearing and blinking and healing also because Casey didn't do the healing and he would put himself to sleep and I'm a waking trance channel. So I'm constantly channeling. So it was getting a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Um, so everyone that has your hand up, if you'll
But I
put
love
your
it.
question in the chat for me, so that we can ask, because I'm kind of going through the questions that are in the chat. So just send me your question in the chat, and that's how we're gonna do them.
Yeah.
So okay, so um,
But the interesting thing is, Sean, I love it. And I love doing readings and I don't get really tired. It's interesting because I think because I am channeling Casey, um, he loves it. And that's the thing. He loves doing the work, he loves giving the information, and he loves, he just loves healing people. And I think that's where the whole Holy Spirit comes through too. It's him really, because I was never into the Holy Spirit like this.
right, and the energy from him and the guides comes through you and lifts you up, right?
Yeah, but, like, I think he was really into God and the Holy Spirit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's where he's that's definitely yeah,
I didn't realize how religious he was, but yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Pamela would like to know if you're doing readings. And yes, Pamela, if
Be
you go
doing
to her website, and of course she's going to do some readings tonight.
gonna do a few. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but her website, she has all kinds of events that she's doing all the time, so you can do those. And let's see. Okay, so Leanne.
Chat is disabled, someone said.
Yeah, so no, you send them to me where it says who can you chat with? Yeah, it'll say host and
Yeah.
co-host
These are
versus
great
everyone.
these are great
Yeah,
questions, John.
yeah. And so Leanne wants to know, does Kimberly just heal who the spirits say, or does she have office hours and book appointments? And yes, she actually has a walk-in office, but I'll let you answer that.
So this is very interesting. So I don't know if Casey had office sessions, but I wanted to not have office sessions. I just wanted to have Zooms, but he keeps saying no. He wants me to do in-person office sessions. So I have Mondays and Tuesdays. I still have the old-fashioned office hours.
Yeah, that's great. And Leanne, it's a little bit of a drive for you. It's in Encino. That's Leanne's in Oregon.
People
So
fly in all the time. I still get people flying in.
yeah. I mean, when Southwest has their deals, it's like only like what, $49 or something. Yeah. Okay. s- okay, so let's see. Oh wow. We have a lot. It's awesome. It's great.
It's fun. Yes, it's really great.
And so
Yeah, and just so you guys know, I when I answer the question, it's coming from the left ear and I'm hearing the whisper for the answer.
I'm going through, I'm separating comments from questions. So
Okay.
it's always helpful if you guys point out what is a question versus comment. And yeah, for anyone that wants to contact Kimberly, the website was in the chat, and we'll put it in again, and you can contact her through her website. She's also on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and Twitter or X. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So I'm loving you guys' comments. We just don't have time to go through the comments. So I'm trying to focus on the questions. And you
Yeah.
can, if you have something to share while I'm
Yeah.
going through all these, because there's a
Um,
lot.
Definitely. I do love doing medical intuitive readings, and I also do messages from the afterlife. Sometimes a loved one will come in and want to talk. And then also, I'm doing some Elohim readings right now, which is soul frequency codes. So sometimes they'll come in with that also, which are really fun. I just started doing those. So, soul frequency readings are a numbers, like a few numbers that come in, and these are not numerology numbers. These are numbers that the messages from the Elohim come in and give you. Everybody has a code and a number that you're born with when you come into the world, and they kind of give you. So if you like don't understand like maybe what you're supposed to do in this life, so that kind of it's very interesting for people because they love to know their path of numbers, and I do that with a one-on-one appointments, and they give these code numbers up to the next 10 years. And this is very interesting because this is Casey also doing this. So I don't know if he did this in past lives, but he wants to talk about only up to 2035.
And so you've also been taught all of this from the other side.
They
You didn't go to any school. I mean,
nothing.
your school was your guides.
I've never gone to any class. I've never gone to any person. Nobody teaches me anything, but everything that they teach me, I sit at the table since 2000. I started learning in 2015 on my own after I recovered, and they teach me all of everything.
And isn't it amazing when you get verification that everything that they're teaching you is right? Because, like, my mom wasn't anywhere like that when she was in a body, but she's like amazingly smart on the other side, teaching me all kinds of
They
stuff.
are. They
And
are.
then I'll get confirmation from some professional medium or channeler, and it's like, wow.
Let me tell you how smart my mother is. Okay, my mom, yeah, your mom, my mom. So my mom, um, she passed young, but um, when she passed, okay, she had difficult life here, a little bit difficult life, and I don't want to get into that. But when she passed, um, I had asked my grandma. My great grandmother was an Italian psychic. She was Italian shaman. So when I had the first ND, remember I said there was a lady I saw, and I didn't know who it was. Well, when I came back, I told my great aunt, and she goes, "That's your great grandmother you had seen." I didn't know that because I had never. She died before I was born. She had wanted all her daughters to get the gift, and nobody got it, but I got it. But I didn't know that. So my mother, when she passed away, I had asked my grandmother, so that was her mother, if I could put the infinity sign on her grave because I said she'll come back again one day. And she said, "Oh no, we should have the cross on there or something like that." I said, "No, the infinity." Well, Italian Catholic, they don't really like that stuff like that. They don't believe in people coming back like that. But I got my own way and I got the infinity sign on there. So after COVID hit, my mom's been gone a long time. After COVID happened, sure enough, the infinity sign starts showing up over people's heads when I was at a big group conference. And I said, "Oh my God, my mother's back." And when the infinity sign would show up over this one woman's head I saw. I said to the lady, I said, "Did your mother pass away?" She goes, "Yes." So they would show up underneath over certain people's heads that their mother had passed when they wanted to, when the mother wanted to make up with them, if they were in an argument from the other side. So my mom came in to try to help people make up with their family. And so they love to come in and make a point of making up or having something. So she wanted to make sure that I knew that she didn't go far away. She's right here. And I do communicate with her all the time. And I do help people communicate with their family members a lot. But I never thought she'd come back showing herself in my groups with the infinity sign.
That is so cool.
And what
And
does the
that,
infinity sign stand for? The infinity sign is that we never die.
right. Yeah, I think that's one of the most amazing things that people can learn is that we can heal these relationships after they're past. And
Absolutely.
they want to do that. It's important to them. And
Absolutely.
yeah. And okay, so um Trisha wants to know if does Mother Mary have anything to say to us tonight? And does she have any answers for those dealing with overwhelm or feeling blocked in their lives?
I would say that Mother Mary always wants to talk to us. Yeah. Yeah. Mother Mary, um, the divine, gosh, the divine feminine energy of Mary. She's always leading us to that comfort, that love, always to open up, I feel, nurturing our divine feminine energy, caring for ourselves more, definitely self-care. Self-care. Community like we're in right now is so important. Being here for each other, loving each other. I hear her saying over and over again, not judging yourself, not judging others is really important, but especially not judging yourself. I feel like it's important to just really nurture yourself right now. Yeah.
Speaking of judging, did you have a life review when you crossed over? Did you experience a life review or
I didn't really experience a life review. I think I experienced that few couple of seconds with just a strong blast of that light through my eyes. I felt like they were just putting me into a mission. That's what I got. And I feel like it's interesting with me and mine. I just got like this demand of what they wanted me to do.
yeah?
And it was like that. And I know I've seen other people say, and I don't watch a lot of them, but I know that people have asked me about that. I feel now that I'm experiencing my life now, I try to think back, which is sad for me. I try to go back to think about my life before. And some of the memories I do have, and some of them I don't. I think because I had such a bad um, NDEs, they were so bad and hard.
Right. I had the same thing. I couldn't, I used to do websites and stuff. I came back, I couldn't remember any of that stuff. And and so at first I thought it was a traumatic brain injury, which it probably was, but then I realized it was a blessing. All this useless stuff was gone to open me up to what really matters. And, what's cool is, yeah, not everybody has a life review, but you knew you were coming, that you had this purpose that you
Yeah.
were coming back to do.
They're like, she's gone for 4 minutes. She comes back. And then I looked at my partner. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not funny. That's not funny, but
Yeah. But, actually, most relationships do kind of fall apart afterwards. It
They do.
just kind of happens. Yeah. Yeah. Like marriages break up, people,
Yeah. He's
um,
like, why are you talking? Why are you acting like that?
right. That's like, because you exited the story, but they're kind of still in this story.
Yeah.
And that old you that never really was you is gone. And now the real you has come forth. And yeah, they don't know who is this person.
You're making me laugh.
So I remember those crazy looks, when people are looking at you like, who is this? Uh, so
It's just so you don't know whether you're going to make it out of there ever. I mean, so many rabbis and priests come in, they look like they're reading your rights. You're not going to make it out of there ever.
yeah, and you know what? I think that's a big blessing because I lived for many years not knowing that I have a tumor because I was diagnosed with some things that there's no cures for. My lungs had collapsed, and literally the doctor's like, we don't know.
Yeah.
So it was like every day I was just grateful. And I tell my sisters, it's like, I'm just, if I did something kind today, that's all that matters. But now I kind of figure I'll be around for a while. But for a
Yeah.
couple of years, I
Yeah.
didn't.
But
Okay.
I'm so grateful that, I mean, I'm not grateful for the organs and things that had problems, but I'm grateful for I'm grateful that it happened because I love helping and healing people and everything. But I'm grateful for like the time I was in there and they came in and they were giving me journals and saying, you have to do this and this. It's an interesting to look back at it now. I'm happy I was able to come today and share this experience today because I've never really shared it like this. So um it's just a blessing that we're all I love this group. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love having you here.
Thank you. You want to do some readings?
Well, wait, I got a few more questions.
That's
And
Casey.
so
Casey wants to do the readings.
well, so we have like 45 minutes left. Do you want to do readings for 45 minutes?
No, 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 no,
Or do
no.
you want to do some more? Yeah, I know, because it'll,
I know. Casey was
right. Yeah, he'll do it, but we don't want to exhaust you.
room for 4 hours.
Exactly. So, okay. So
Yeah.
another question. Um, I'm curious, when we're living from a 5D state, some things seem to flow easily, like compassion or service, but other areas, especially big leaps like financial or emotional breakthroughs, feel more resistance. Are those blocks part of the lingering 3D energy? And what guidance do you receive about moving through them without slipping back into fear or limitation?
Well, that's a long question, but a great question. So, um, I also write about that in my book. They channeled that. So with money, I think it's good to ask just like a small question, but I did when you're talking, they're going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So money in 3D, I think they're saying to make more abundance when you're in, is it money, manifesting money in the fifth dimension? Is that what they're saying?
Well, yeah, or how do you well, she's saying that some things are really easy in the fifth dimension, but then there's certain blocks like uh financially or whatever.
Yeah. So manifesting money in 3D or manifesting money in 5D, um, either way, when you're manifesting money in the fifth dimension, you have to look at it as when you're manifesting money in the fifth dimension. I think that's what she's asking me. You have to look at it about it's not money. First of all, if you look at the book, I talk about how you talk about money is we call it funds instead of money, and you're manifesting it through passion and something you love to do, right? So and when you manifest it in that way and you're looking at it like that, it becomes more um of a less burden and a higher dimensional frequency of fun. So I know when I'm trying to manifest it with a third dimensional attitude, it doesn't come as easy. So it has to be um, I teach people how to always put more of a gratitude into it. And that is really important when you're in. I'm not, I guess I'm not really certain how she's asking it.
Yeah, but I think you're answering it. And so
So,
I would also say to
yeah,
in the Course in Miracles, it's called the Psychotherapy Manual, and there's a thing called the Question and Payment. You know what the A Course in Miracles
yeah,
is, right?
well,
Uh, and yeah, so Jesus, Helen Schuckman, she was a therapist,
I
a
know.
Jewish atheist therapist who is channeling Jesus. Took her a long time to realize or to believe. But so in this question of payment, they talk about how when you're of service, when you're in abundance, when you're doing your purpose, that's all you need to worry about. Everything
Exactly,
else will come, and you don't know where it's going to come from.
exactly.
It may come from, and that's been my experience because I used to care about making money. Now I just care about service, and somehow I am blessed.
Yes.
And so it's about that, right? Like
And
it.
also, you're so on. Also, I teach the students I work with your gratefuls and your gratitudes and your gratefuls because spirit is watching it, like you're saying, and watching everything you write out. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this. And every time you're writing all that out, and you want to find out who you're grateful to, what spirit guide you have, what guardian angel you're grateful to, and how it's working. And like what Sean is saying, the more you're in touch with all of these things that are working for you, your third dimension turns into the fifth dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's more just about abundance, not even thinking about money, but when
Yeah.
we're full and abundant and connected with the spirit, we're supported.
They don't
And we
like
don't have to worry about being supported.
yeah, they don't like the word money. They like the word funds and passion and those type of words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. So um yeah, so the people that are already asking for readings we'll get
Yeah,
there.
we could start soon.
Okay, let me just go through real quick. Uh how do we know if we're in the fifth dimension?
You'll know. Yeah, you'll know when you're in the fifth dimension. You know you're in the fifth dimension because when you're in the third dimension, what do you feel? You feel stuck. When you get upset, you're upset for like what, a day or two. When you're in the fifth dimension, you're not upset for that long. It's maybe like what, 15, 20 minutes. You snap out of it pretty quick. When you're the fifth dimension, you're in the zone. Life's pretty groovy. You're really going pretty smooth there. Yeah. So there's a lot of things. My book's called The Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. The fifth dimension is really, gosh, how do you explain it? You're just feeling like you're in sync. There's many multiple ways of being in the fifth dimension. Like I said, your home has to be in the fifth dimension. You're meditating every day, you're exercising, you're eating right, the vitamins are everything, your relationships are working out. Everything is in alignment.
Yeah, to me, it's magical. I mean, life, when you're in the fifth dimension, life gets magical and
It's
amazing things happen that
and
are not coincidences. They're not, I mean, I don't believe in those anymore. It's like I know
right.
that it's all working for our good.
Yeah, and I teach people how to set it's not just like, "Oh, this morning I'm gonna be" it's you really set your intentions out. So, like, it takes work to understand how to make a path. There's a chapter in there, like, the pathway to the fifth dimension. So, for me, like, I write my intentions out every week. This week's this week I'm gonna do this, and I haven't missed one day of meditation in like 7 years. So every day, it's another day, you do this, right? And you're staying in that higher vibration. So you're only human. You may have like a couple days where you're going to be a little bit like that. But if you're really setting a goal to be in that higher dimensional frequency, all of a sudden you're like, wow, things are really working my way. I'll have a client call me up and go, oh my God, this, and this just happened. This is amazing. So, yeah, that's how you know you're in that dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much unmistakable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick the newsletter in the chat again, because if you go to the newsletter, it has Kimberly's, the link to her website. It also has the link to her book, that to Amazon, to wait, and it's a great book. I have it, and I mean, all your questions about the fifth dimension are really answered there. Plus, on her website, you can go to some of her workshops. Uh,
Some people are like, I want to go to the eighth dimensionality. I'm like, just learn the fifth dimension.
right. Well, because if you go too far, it's just oneness. There's like, and then you're kind of like, that's the master prize, which is pretty hard
Our
to get there in a body.
Yeah, our country and our world just needs to master the fifth dimension.
Right.
I mean, if we could just get certain things out of our grocery stores and learn to have love and all of that, just every day we smile at each other and all that, that's more fifth dimensional love and consciousness, then that would be great.
Yeah. So, okay. So here's a really important question, because a lot of people, they hear Jesus, they hear Mother Mary, and so it triggers maybe fundamentalist upbringing or whatever, and they think it has to do with a Christian thing or religion. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, and how these were historical people, you know, that and it wasn't about a religion. If you could just share and answer that question, because I know it's ironically it triggers you.
Well, I can only answer it from only for me and who I am, because I don't know for other people, because I don't want to offend anybody's religion here. But I was brought up um, Jewish because I was converted to Judaism when I was a baby, and my dad is Jewish. Um, and my mom is Italian Catholic, but she converted to Judaism. And then, but I also was raised around a lot of Buddhist, and I just love Jesus because I know Jesus is amazing and Jesus was Jewish. And I don't really, my book is spiritual book. It's not a religious book. And when I channel that Jesus was a beautiful being. He had healing abilities. I feel a lot of us have healing abilities. I don't believe he was a religion. I believe he was a beautiful man that came here to teach us to love. And I mean, maybe people don't like that I'm saying that, but the Virgin Mary was also Jewish, and she was also a healer. And I wear them on my neck. I have the cross and I have Jesus and all that. And I also believe, that's just who I am. And I lay hands on people. I say the Hail Marys. I also say the Hebrew prayers. And I've been doing it my whole, I've been really into this, always. So, I don't know. That's just,
Yeah, no, that's a great answer.
and
And
I believe that they're here. They're part of the Christ light, the Christ consciousness energy coming in. And I do believe that it's getting stronger, the energy, and higher. And it's good to honor them.
yeah. And the Hindus, I mean, they revere Mother Mary. I mean, there's ancient mantras, you know, to connect with the Mother Mary,
Yeah.
and to have what do they call it? Darshan, I think, where she'll appear to you after you've been doing the mantras and the yantras. So they're certainly not Christian, but
Yeah.
it's just most NDErs, to answer this person's question, may see spiritual figures, but in 99% of the cases are less religious, more spiritual. And I was
That,
born Mormon. I didn't know anything about the Catholic Church or the saints. Yeah, the first person that greeted me is St. Teresa of Avila. So that's, to me, that's like wild, because a lot of people have the theory, well, if you're born Christian, you're going to see Jesus. Well, no, I didn't see Jesus. I saw Saint Teresa, and so she was a real person. She was an amazing
They are real.
saint,
They are real.
and she was a Catholic, reformer. They weren't happy with her, so it's not about religion necessarily. These people just lived, and now they're helping us from the other side. So, okay, just a couple more, and then we're gonna.
And I have to tell you one more thing I want to say about that. We can't define, or we have our own points of view, or how we're created or what happens. But when I first started laying hands and doing healings, I was also, she would come through me, the Virgin Mary. And I actually, when I was having that experience of her coming through and people were being healed, because I've been tested at some of the biggest organizations in our country, which is IANDS. And I was seeing her come through me. I drove to Santa Barbara and went and saw some nuns and deacons, and I told them what was happening. And I did a healing on one of the nuns, and she was like, her mouth just dropped open. And when I told her I was seeing the Virgin Mary, she goes, I need to contact some organizations. And I was like, no, I'm leaving. And I ran.
Did you go to Marymount or the Mission, or where did you
The
go?
mission in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I used to live right by there. That's a beautiful place.
But she said there were other people having visitations from Mary too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm leaving. And I left.
Okay, so have you made contact with your dog?
Yes. 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 I just heard in my ear, Saint Meredith. I'm like, no. Yes, I do. I make contact with Rocky. I love doing healings on animals, and I love doing animal communication. I love doing animal communications and healings.
That's awesome.
Love Rocky.
Oh, so Eric does astrology. He wants to know what sign you are.
Well, I'm not the sign I was when I was born anymore. I'm my NDE sign. So I was born a Leo, but they're going, you're not a Leo. So I guess I'm the sign, my near death experience sign. So I'm probably a Pisces.
So really, for you, your near-death experience was a rebirth
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. Almost done.
Probably a little bit of a Leo, but more of a Pisces. They're going, yes.
Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is Kimberly's guides are gonna choose people. And if you're okay to be on camera, and you will be on YouTube, then raise your hand if she calls on you, or if what she is saying sounds like you. I'm going to put it in gallery view,
Thank you, Sean.
and then we'll have you unmute. Um, Vivian, did you have a question, or are you wanting? If you have a question, stick it in the chat. Yeah, so everyone with your hands raised, because what we're going to do for now is Kimberly's guides are going to choose who is, since you can't give everybody a reading. So that's how we're going to start off. So you can go ahead and put your hands down, because we want, once Kimberly's knows who she's going to choose, then we want that person to put their hand up. And then we'll have you unmute, and then we'll bring you on camera.
So we'll put you in the gallery. Should I do the gallery view?
Yeah, I stuck it in gallery view. So yeah, you stick yours in gallery view too.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. This has been fun. Hi, Bill. I just saw my friend Bill. Okay. Now I see everybody. Yay.
Oh,
Okay.
and there's 2 pages, so make sure you,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Hi, I can see people I know now. This has been,
Actually, there's three
oh my God.
pages.
This has
Four
been,
pages. We have 4 pages.
oh my gosh, this has been so fun. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of people here. I thought it was just a few people. Okay. How nice. This is so nice. Okay. Um, okay. I will start off doing a reading. Hi, Eric. Hi, Marie. Hi, everybody. So grateful to see everybody here. Okay, so let's see. Um, I'm gonna do a reading. If you don't want a reading, you can tell me if I pick on you and you like don't want it. We'll pass it to somebody else. Um, Christy, do you want a reading? Okay, we'll bring Christy up. Christy Otis.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want me to spotlight her?
I got it.
Okay. Um, Let me see if I can go back to spotlighting me.
Your spotlight.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, how are you? It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, my guides were, they picked you because they were talking about something, and you can ask me a question after I communicate this to you. They were talking about something about you being, are you a teacher?
I'm actually a therapist and I'm also a psychic medium as well.
Yeah. And they're talking about you, doing something in the future with more of teaching.
Yeah,
With
yes. Yeah, I do spiritual teaching and intuitive life coaching as well.
Yeah, so they're coming in really strong about that, and they're talking about, when you were born, also, there is something they're telling me that you from like, I don't know if you knew that when you were little, they're talking about you being, like, naturally something about you wanting to help and heal people.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, they're telling me, did did somebody cross over that's like, uh, I don't know if it was recently that somebody passed away, but they're trying to come in and make communication with you. They passed away.
Um,
Um,
the most recent was probably in 2022.
okay. Um, I'm asking if this is a male or a woman.
Well,
Uh,
and I forgot that I've had an uncle too. Actually, it's just been a year since an uncle passed away.
yeah, yeah, they're coming in pretty strong for you right now. They're talking about, are you married?
Yes.
They're talking about your husband.
Okay.
Do you want me to talk about this here right now or no?
Yeah, sure. That's okay.
Okay. He's saying something about your husband and you.
Okay.
Are you guys doing okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about something about you and your husband. Just something about, are you going away or something?
Um, well, we just recently were talking about planning a vacation.
Yeah, he's saying something about that. Be careful about the vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. Where were
Okay.
you planning to go?
Well, we haven't decided yet. We just were talking about planning somewhere, going somewhere.
Okay. They're just saying to be careful about that right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you were gonna, I don't know, fly or drive or something like that, to be careful. Do you want to ask a question?
Oh gosh, I didn't even think. So well, and it's interesting because if it's a certain uncle I was thinking about, like there were like my his daughter was having some issues with her husband. So I don't know if that was maybe something that was
It might be that they're talking about something, and also this person that crossed over, he had some pretty bad issues with health,
yes.
and he's
Yes.
saying,
It
"Thank
yeah.
you for being there for him." He had a horrible time with his health, he's saying, and he wanted you to relay the message back to the family. Thank you for being there for him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate that because yeah, he did come to me and that's how I actually kind of came out to some of my cousins that didn't know I was a medium because he came to me to give a message to them.
Yeah, so he's saying that. I'm just gonna do a mini we're just doing, like, little mini readings right now, but he just pointed at you when I saw you in the crowd. Also, he was saying, "Is your husband a businessman?"
Yes. Mhm.
He's saying he's really proud of him.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
yeah.
That's good to know.
Alright, I'll let you go. There are
Yeah,
one
no, thank you so
thing
much.
before I go. He says, "You really help the community." Something about community, you doing stuff with community, keep doing that.
Okay.
So I don't
Okay,
know if you're doing
wonderful.
more stuff with community, but he keeps telling me about community and family.
Okay. I mean, I do have a group therapy practice. So, multi-group. So there's many of us. And so I help my community. And then with family, I've been helping them with understanding about messages and
Yeah,
connecting and asking for signs. I've helped cousins and things like that with understanding all of this because
yeah,
they've lost their parents as well as
yeah.
me.
He's right here on my shoulder, and he was saying that. So, all right. Well, God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So he wants to keep talking. We can go. He's like going to go now, but he was just saying, I did make it. I'm with God. I'm with the Holy Spirit. He's saying right now. Okay. Thank you. He did make it okay. All right. I'm going to go back. Thank you so much for letting me do the reading. Gonna go in and look right now. I'm getting a woman coming in very strong. Are you a grandmother or a mother? This is a mom. This is a mother that crossed over. Okay. She's worried about someone here with something going on with their health. I thought that could be a lot of people. Okay, but let me see. Mother that crossed over. Okay, going to the next page. Let me see. Colleen, did your mother pass away? Okay, it might be Colleen. Colleen, would you like a reading?
Yes,
Okay, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm so happy to be chosen.
Um,
I have a feeling that maybe this isn't my mother.
okay, don't tell us, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You think it's not your mother? Why?
Because I had a really close friend pass in the last 3 years, and she was a mother. But anyways, it could be my mom, but it's been a lot longer for my mom. It's been
So
like
it doesn't matter
she,
in spirit world how long your parents have passed away.
yeah,
So it's better just to be open for the reading.
sure,
Let me tell you.
absolutely.
Usually I don't really channel other people's family, but maybe it could be. Let me ask, okay, and see what she says. Are you Colleen's mother? She's saying yes.
Okay.
Did your mother pass away of something that was up on the chest part of her?
Was her heart?
Yeah, she's going, I died of something up here. She's going. Okay, take a deep breath because she's really all up in your business for some reason. Can you take a go? She's worried about your health. So that's why she's coming in.
Okay.
She's talking about something with your arm. and also something around your jaw. And you may not know what this is, but this is also, I'm getting Casey coming in also with you. So you could just listen while they go through you for a second. And maybe tilt your camera a little bit towards me. Okay, great. Thank you. They're talking about your hip, and your low back, a knee, your ankle. Sorry to be so nosy. And also the back of your neck a little bit. And also, they're talking about at one point inside your jaw, or something may have happened a long time ago, a little bit, but like around your ear and your jaw. They're going over your ear and your jaw for some reason over and over again. And then also something about over and over again, like the low back and to your side and your hip. Did anything happen there, like maybe a while ago, or?
I have a lot of stored trauma in my body. And so I'm doing a lot of work to release that, especially accelerated in the last few months.
And they're talking about something a long time ago maybe happened to your elbow, and also they're talking about um something with your dental, your jaw and your teeth, that is going along with your blood pressure too. You need to get checked out. How is your blood pressure?
It's always kind of, I take medication for it. It's always kind of more on the high side.
You're talking about your blood pressure over and over again. So I don't know if you need to get that blood pressure medicine checked, but they are saying no, no, no on your blood pressure. And how's your A1C?
I don't know what that is.
That's your blood sugar.
Oh, good. Like I get it checked, every 6 months or so, and it's always good.
They're going over that again too. And they're going over, like, again, your hip and your ankles again for some reason on the left side.
Yeah, I mean, I know about there being, I'm doing physical therapy, I know about there being issues, but
What do you mean you know about the physical therapy?
I'm doing physical therapy and I know about there being like pain and, stuck energy in the hip and ankle.
Oh, so you're confirming there is something going on with your ankle and your hip?
Well, it's kind of stuff that's been there for a long, long time. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
childhood trauma.
okay, well, they're just pointing out those things again. Is there anything you want to ask about it or no?
Um, no, I guess just about one question I had was about future. I had this impulse lately of speaking in front of people, speaking to people.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kind of confirm that.
You want to confirm what?
That's something in my future, or that it could be a possibility.
Yeah, your mom is coming in and she's saying, I'm your guide. I'm one of your guides, and I want to help you open up the throat chakra so you can start speaking out more and claiming your voice. So she wants to make up with you. I don't know if you had a past situation with your mom in the past life, but she's saying,
This life,
yeah, this life, but a past life too. You had both.
right?
And she's saying that you can reclaim your relationship and make it better. And also, we could do a longer session sometime because this is just a little mini read. But I am seeing that you're dehydrated. So, they are telling me you do need to drink probably a better drinking water.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can put that in the chat for you. There's spring water that might be good for you to drink, but there's a lot of things I'm seeing in your body that is connected to probably past trauma, like you are saying. But we don't have to live in that past trauma. We can move forward. And your mom is here to help you with that too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So by identifying these things that are going on in your body, and they're saying they've been going on for quite a while, they're saying by you going into the fifth dimension, bringing your mom in, she can help you. But also, these are such a, when I do my full hour, I can give you so many things to help you release this energy. They are telling me there's probably new vitamins you could take, water you should be drinking. And physical therapy is great, but there's actually things that you need to release. The whole left side of you, I'm blinking, needs to be released out.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, lots
Thank
of different ways.
Thank you for letting me do the reading. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Okay.
seeing you, Colleen.
I know.
You too, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So Mountain Valley spring water is a great water to drink, especially for hydrating the body. And like we pointed out, the blood pressure and the A1C needs to be readjusted, maybe with a little bit of readjusting there. So my eyes will only go off on certain areas of the body that they feel are not, like, we won't hit anything that is A-okay. They're only going to go off on something that's not okay. So if there was the liver or gallbladder or something going, not right, they would go there. And if it's past, they may go off on it again. So that's how I work with the medical intuitive stuff. They're very, very, very thorough with that.
And I just wanted to mention for people that are if you haven't had a reading before, sometimes something may not make sense now, but pay attention over the next coming weeks, because all of a sudden it can manifest and you're just like, aha.
Yeah. And also, as you saw me doing the reading on Colleen, she may not register at first. And then she's like, oh yeah, I've had that, or I've had that, or I've had that. When I do medical scans, I've done medical scans where people will be like, no, my knee hurts, but my blood pressure's fine. But really, when you take blood pressure medication, that's just covering up your blood pressure. That's not the root cause of why your blood pressure's bad. When we take blood pressure medicine, why is your blood pressure bad? Is it your diet? You want to find out why your blood pressure has a problem. Why am I blinking on her A1C? Maybe your A1C was okay a few weeks ago, but why is Kimberly hearing A1C? Why? So get what Sean says, root cause is what we go after. And we want to make sure that we don't get blood pressure problems. So this is really important. Why some of us medical intuitives are out there. We want to help you. So figure out the root cause things. All right. Does anybody else? Let's see. We have time for a few more readings. Hey, Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara, it's nice to see you.
Hi, Connie. So let's see. I see a person trying to make contact. We have a lot of loved ones on the other side trying to make contact with you guys. Yvonne Mergner?
Oh, Yvonne, where are you at?
I'm here.
Do you want a reading?
Yes.
Of course she does. She's a friend from Maryland.
Oh,
Where are you though? Can you raise your hand? I can't see you.
I know.
can hold on.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out how to raise my hand.
Oh, no, you don't have to. We have
Do you
to.
see her? Can you
Okay.
Okay. You spotlighted her?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
all I ask people that are having readings, I know this might be new to people, is just confirm as we're going through. Confirm it. If you don't know, that's fine. But if you do know, confirm it for the guys so they can hear. Because I'm not doing the reading, they're doing the reading and they can hear you. So just confirm it. This is something interesting. So I am getting a man coming in, a man that has crossed over, trying to communicate with you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, is this her father or her brother? Did you have a father pass over?
Yes.
Okay. I feel this is your father. I don't know why I feel like it was sort of an immune suppressed condition. You know,
Alzheimer's.
yeah, I feel like it was. He's telling me, he keeps, did he have, yeah, it was was it Alzheimer's? Was it dementia? He's saying, I don't want it to be called that. I want it to be called more like dementia.
Yeah, Louis' bodies is
Yeah,
what we had.
yeah, that's what he's saying. And was he like a very kind man? Like he liked to help people?
I guess. I
When
don't know.
yeah, he's saying to when he was younger.
Yeah, he was a very kind person, I guess.
When he was younger, he's saying. He did like what kind of service work did he do?
He was an auto mechanic.
Yeah, service. And also,
He was a partier.
yeah, he seems to connect to you like he's saying he loved you a lot.
Mhm.
He's telling me.
Yeah, he comes to me often.
Yeah, he's connecting to you quite lovingly, he's telling me. Are you having any physical pain or anywhere in your body?
Um, a little bit of
Showing
sciatic
me. Yeah, he's showing me
and
some
my shoulders,
showing me. Yeah, he's going around your shoulder to me.
my many paws shoulders or whatever.
Yeah, he's showing me around your shoulder. And do you do anything for that, like cold laser, or are you doing anything?
No, I haven't been doing anything for it. It's not constant. It's just, you know, it's certain. It's just tender. It feels inflamed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so out of the whole crowd today, he picked you. And he's saying, I want my daughter healed. He's saying she needs to know about the cold laser. So there's something called cold laser therapy.
Hmm.
I don't know where do you live? I forgot what Sean said.
I'm in actually West Virginia now.
Okay, so there's something called cold laser therapy, and that could help a lot.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so he keeps going. You need that. You need the cold laser therapy. That's very helpful. That could help you a lot.
Okay.
You want to ask a question?
Um, I'm an NDE as well, and I just live. I mean, I have a beautiful life. Everything is wonderful, perfect, but I don't. I'm not doing what I was told I was supposed to do. So, am I doing what I'm just being me? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Um, they're answering my guides. They're saying no. And they're showing me the sign of the seven, which is the sign of Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and the sign of you being a teacher. So they're showing me they want you to do some kind of teaching.
Yeah, that's what Jesus told me I had to come back and do.
Yeah. So they are.
I'm like, if you think I'm standing on a street corner preaching the word of God, I don't know. That's not my personality.
Yeah. So they are saying that's not what they want you to do, but there's some sort of teaching for you to identify with and figure out. I don't know what it is right now doing this fast reading, but I do help people figure out what their purpose is to.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you.
They do, not me. When I said I do, they got mad and said, "No, you don't." They slapped down my eye. They said, "You don't, we do." So, yeah. Yeah, so thank you for letting me do the reading for
Yeah,
you.
and I'll reach out to you because I definitely want some guidance. And
Yeah.
thank you for bringing my father through.
And Yvonne, you're supposed to open that store,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
that's where you'll do the teaching is at that store.
I need the funds. I
I
need the
was going to
funds.
ask the question if you didn't, because I
I already have it in my head. It's already there.
she's one of those reluctant teachers that like she had an IANDS group and just
Oh.
about sick of it. That's like she's supposed to teach, but she's like fighting it.
Well, not anymore because her dad just came in again, Sean, and her dad is saying, I'm one of her guides. So your dad is one of your guides. So write down that for sure. So he's someone, I teach a lot of times I help people connect. Once they meet me, you'll never forget me because your dad is one of your main guides. So he's someone to always write to and call to. So he's definitely someone to help. So I'll see you again, and
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you.
I'll help you learn how to work with him.
All right, great.
Okay,
I hear him very clearly, and I see him very clearly.
good.
This house I'm living in, they showed me.
Okay.
I bought the wrong house and I had to cancel my contract and get this one.
I remember I was with you. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know. She felt like it's the wrong house and she's in escrow. And they helped her out of it to get the right house.
Yeah.
To come in today, so he came.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you.
Glad you came tonight.
Woo!
How are you feeling?
Well,
we're at 5:02, but it's up to you if you want to do one more.
we can do one last one, and then I better go nighty night. Okay, so do one finale for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
My guide said yes. Okay. Thank you all for having me here. Bless everybody. Grateful for being here. Okay, so Bill is shaking his head. Thank you for some hearts. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Sean is amazing. Okay, so let me see what I'm getting. Okay. Okay, this is someone that they're saying, this is somebody that really, okay. Okay, they're talking about somebody that came into the world that has a strong, okay, it's probably a lot of people here, but did this person have a near-death experience? Yes. So this person had a near-death experience. You could raise your hand. Well, wait. This person had a near-death experience. This person also is very connected to community and family and is a teacher. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. This is an NDEer connected to family community and is a teacher. Okay, Eric.
I knew he was going crazy there.
Okay, let's see what they're saying.
This is Eric who asked your he's an amazing astrologer.
Okay.
And he's the one that asked your sign.
Hello.
They're saying, okay, there's someone on the other side that wants to talk to you. Thank you for coming and doing the reading with me. Thank you so much. Is a woman or a man?
My
Okay, so when I
mic on.
Yeah, when I turn my head, it's because they're talking to me. Okay, so is it a woman? Yeah. Did your mom pass away?
Yes, my mother passed away on September 21st, 2021 while I was in coma.
Okay, yeah, it's your mom coming in. She's telling me she made it over to the light. She's showing me 5. Okay, so 5 times 2. She's saying, was she religious, or was she believed in Jesus?
She did, yeah. She was a devout Catholic and just, yeah, she had dementia, survivor of breast and brain cancer. She was amazing. And she taught 5th grade for 35 years.
She's showing me that. Yeah, 5. And she's also showing me the sign of Jesus and the angels. So what does she want to relay to you? Are you having any health issue? Your stomach? Anything with your gut health?
Gut has been good. My back, my shoulder has been bad since coma, and my right elbow and right shoulder.
Okay, because she was scanning down lower. And also, yeah, so yeah, but she's also talking about your gut health, that you need more immune boosting with so you can heal up those other areas.
Okay.
So she's talking to me about your stomach and your gut health, like a better probiotic. Are you taking probiotic?
No, I need to, but I do a lot of fasting and I eat pretty healthy.
Okay, she's saying they're saying Casey too, be careful about the fasting. So when you fast, it lowers your immune system.
Okay.
So you got to be a little bit careful about that. And also make sure, and I can email you separately because sometimes when I put out probiotics in groups, everybody will go take it. It's not always good for everybody.
Right.
I can email you separately one that I feel that might be good.
Okay.
And also making sure you drink good water.
Yes.
I'm getting for hydration between 1 to 5 flow chart, you're about a 3. And also to speed up healing with you, how long since the near death experience?
It was September. I fell into coma September 6, 2021.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Coming up on my 4-year anniversary.
So we need to boost your immune system. Yeah, that she came in like that because she wants me to help you boost your immune system.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel that I could be beneficial to helping you with that if you want me to help you.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Uh,
My
I
question is, oh, well, go ahead. Sorry.
am getting a lot of energy in that elbow,
Yes.
up to your spinal cord. Yeah. Yeah. It was a real gift that you were saved by the Holy Spirit. She's telling me the Holy Spirit saved you.
Yes.
She's showing me that. You want to ask something else to her?
Um, well, I love her and I miss her. And I think my main thing is about my vision. I was born with an eye disease, retinitis pigmentosa. When I was 9, they told me by the age of 21 that I'd be completely blind. And I'm just trying to, find ways to maintain, but also improve my sight.
Yeah, they're telling me you're not going to go blind, that the Holy Spirit's going to keep you healing. They're saying no, 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 no. So that for sure,
Yeah,
they're going to do that.
I know
Um,
that.
and but there are some other things, but they don't like you fasting.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying that over and over again to me. Yeah. And also you don't use any fluoride, right, in your teeth? You do non-fluoride.
No, no, I have the best. Yeah, my wife makes organic and vegan body and skincare, so we're very health
Okay.
conscious. And I'm an
Okay.
intuitive astrologer. So,
Yeah, they are talking about circulation though on the left side of you. Also, there was another person here tonight, but they are talking about some kind of circulation going on.
mm,
To be careful about your circulation on the left side of your body.
okay.
I keep going over to the left.
Yeah, I've had poor circulation in my hands and my feet my entire life.
Do you think he has a clot or something?
No.
I'm not getting a clot, but I'm just getting just to check on it, to make sure you're checking on your circulation, especially since you said you had what you had happen with your near death experience.
Yeah.
And you don't need to tell me here in the public about all the medicines that you might be taking or not
I
taking.
don't take any medicine. Yeah.
Ever
And I
want,
was in coma for 40 days.
did they ever want you to take medicine?
Yes, they no, the only thing that they were debating was whether or not I should continue on with diflucanazole because I had valley fever. But while I was in coma, I got a drip of diflucanazole, and then when I awakened, one doctor was like, "Oh, you're done with it. It's not in your blood anymore. You're fine." And they never found it in my blood, Western medicine. And then another doctor said you should take it the rest of your life. And then a third doctor said you could take it intermittently, like between June and October, because I live in Arizona when it gets kind of dusty and hot.
On any blood thinners?
No, 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 nothing like that. My blood sugar, my blood pressure is great. It's been great my whole life.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you for letting me do the reading.
Thank you.
Glad you guys came. Yeah, he has an amazing story. He was one of our speakers, and when
Yeah,
he
when
was in the coma, in and out of his body, traveled home, and it was at your house when your
I
sons
actually traveled to my house and I saw
Okay.
my twin sons. Yeah.
and they saw you too, right?
Yes,
Well,
Jackson
yes.
saw me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
see two angels, one on the right, one on the left, sitting with you. And your mother is with you too, but you have two other relatives on the other side with you always, too.
Could it be my father and my half sister, or?
There's two angels with you. They're both sitting on your shoulders, and I'm getting a lot of chills. So I do see two angels with you. They're watching over you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah, so unfortunately we couldn't do everyone, but and there were so many questions too. So when I put the replay of this up, please put the questions that weren't answered on the comments, and then Kimberly can go back and answer them. And also we'll do a workshop sometime, right? Where it's just readings so more people can experience all your wisdom.
Yeah, I love doing fifth dimensional mediumship readings and healings, and we could do healings too. That would be really fun. Thanks.
Yeah. And in the meantime, check out her website because she has tons of events always going on.
Thank
So, well, this has been amazing. I think all of us are in the fifth dimension now for a while, which is, wonderful.
Take us there.
That's right. So thank you so much, Kimberly. This has just been amazing. I'm so grateful, and we're all grateful. And thank you all for coming. It's been just such a beautiful night, and to feel all your wonderful energy. And so hopefully we'll see you all at the sharing group, and then the top, and then sign up for the IANDS conference. Come to Chicago. That'll be fun. And next year we're going to get Kimberly to speak at the IANDS conference in Seattle.
Oh my God, that would be so amazing.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Okay. Love you all. Again, thank you, Kimberly.
Thank
You're
you.
such a beautiful spirit, and just love you.
Thank
So
you.
we will see you all next time. You have a great night, and aloha.